Because they could also criticize what we're doing, saying the same point, saying what good can it do? You see, it doesn't seem to affect anybody, and certainly not in time to make a big difference. You see, that's a question that would arise. Suppose, for the sake of argument, that
we too have very clear about it.
Yeah.
In what way does it affect humanity?
Mankind, and will it affect mankind in time to really save?
Certainly not. Obviously not.
Well, then why should we be doing it?
Because this is the right thing to do.
Independently.
Independently. It has nothing to do with reward and punishment.
Or with goals.
Yes.
As you do the right thing, even though we don't know what the outcome will be, right?
That's right.
Now, you're saying that there is no other way, right?
We are saying that there is no other way. That's right.
Yeah, so we should make that clear. Now, see, for example, some psychologists would feel that by inquiring into this sort of thing, we could bring about an evolutionary transformation of consciousness. Right?
So then we come back to that point, that through time,
yes,
we hope to change consciousness.
Yes.
We question that.
We have questioned that, and we're saying that time that will inevitably involve that we're all caught in becoming an illusion, and we will not know what we're doing. Now, could we say the same thing would hold even for those scientists who are trying to do it physically and chemically or some structurally, that they themselves are still caught in this, and through time they're caught in trying to become better?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And will not know what they're doing, really.
Both the experimentalists and the psychologists and ourselves, they're all trying to become something.
Yes, though they may not seem obvious at first, it may seem that they're really just disinterested or unbiased observers, or working on the problem. But underneath, you feel there's a desire to become better on the part of the person who is doing it. But he is not free of that.
That's just it. They are not free of that.
And that desire will give rise to self-deception and illusion and so on.
So where do we come? Where are we now? That any form of becoming is an illusion. And the becoming implies time. Time, for the psyche to change, we are saying time is not necessary.
Yes. Now, that ties up with the other question of the mind and the brain. Now, see, the brain clearly is to be understood as activity in time, as a physical, neurochemical, complex process.
I think the mind is separate from the brain.
Well, what does it mean, separate? That is, it's
separate
in contact.
In the sense, brain is conditioned and the mind is not.
Well, let's say the mind has a certain independence of the brain, is what you're saying, that even if the brain is conditioned,
the other is not.
Need not be conditioned. Now, on what basis do you say that?
No, let's begin not on what basis do I say.
Or what makes you say it, right?
As long as one's brain or the brain is conditioned, it's not free.
Yes.
And the mind is free.
Yes, that's what you're saying. Now, see, the brain not being free means it is not free to inquire in an unbiased way.
And let's go inquire, what is freedom?
Yeah.
Freedom to inquire, as you point out, freedom to investigate, and it's only in freedom there is deep insight.
Yes, that's clear, because if you're not free to inquire in any, if you are biased, then you're limited.
Limited.
Arbitrary way, no.
So, as long as the brain is conditioned, its relationship to the brain, to the mind, is limited.
Yes. Now we have the relationship of the brain to the mind, here,
yes.
Now, or is it, and also the other way around, right?
Yes. But the mind, being free, has a relationship to the brain.
Yes. Now, we say the mind is free in some sense, not subject to the conditioning of the brain.
Yes.
Now, one could ask a question, what is the nature of the mind? For example, I could ask, is the mind located inside of the body, or is it in the brain?
No, It's nothing to do with the body or the brain.
Has it to do with space or time?
Space and space, just a minute, space, wait a minute, has to do with space and silence. These are the two factors.
But not time. Huh?
Not time. Time belongs to the brain.
All right, now what you say space and silence. Now, what kind of space? It is not the space in which we see light moving.
Space. Let's look around the other way. Thought can invent space.
Well, in addition, we have the space that we see, and thought can invent different kinds of space.
And space from here to there.
Yes, the space through which we move physically.
Space also between two noises.
Between two sounds.
There's two sounds.
Well, that's the interval, they call it. The interval, that would be called the interval between two sounds.
Yes, interval between two noises.
Or two noises. Right?
Two thoughts.
Two thoughts. Right?
Two notes.
Yes.
Two, space between two people.
Yes, space between the walls.
And so on. But that kind of space is not the space of the mind.
You say it is not limited. It is
I
not
didn't
an
want
interval.
to use the word limited.
But I mean, it's implied.
Yes.
It's not the nature of being bounded by something.
No, it is not bounded by the psyche.
By the psyche. But is it bounded by anything?
No.
No. Now, the psyche, you say, is bounded because we've said it is limited, and so on right now.
So can the brain, that's what I want to find out, discuss rather, talk over. Can the brain, with all its cells conditioned, can those cells radically change?
Yeah, well, we've often discussed, you say, it's not certain that all the cells are conditioned. For example, some people think that only a small part of the cells are being used, and the others are rather just not being inactive,
used
dormant.
At all.
Yeah.
Or just touched occasionally.
Just touched occasionally, but those cells that are conditioned, whatever they may be, evidently dominate consciousness now, right?
Yes. Can that be those cells be changed?
Yes.
We are saying that they can, through insight.
Yes. Now,
insight being out of time, it's not the result of remembrance. It's not a intuition or desire or hope. It's nothing to do with any time and thought.
Yes. Now, but you say insight, is it of the mind? Is it of the nature of mind, right? Activity of mind.
Yes.
Right. Now, therefore, you're saying mind can act in the matter of the brain.
Yes. We said that earlier.
Yes, but we have to. But you see, this is a difficult point. You see, how mind is able to act in matter.
It is able to act on the brain. Say, for instance, take any crisis or any problem. Problem is, at the root meaning of it, as you know, is something thrown at you. And we meet it with all the remembrance of the past, with a bias and so on. And therefore the problem multiplies itself. Mm-hmm. You may solve one problem, in the very solution of one problem, of that particular problem, other problems arise, as they are doing in politics and so on, so on. Right? Now, to approach the problem, or to have perception of the problem without any past memories and thoughts interfering or projecting in perception of the problem.
Yes.